Right off the top, it's imperative that you have at least some understanding of the 45 badges in this game and how they affect each superstar. Superstar tiers or overalls do not matter as much as which badges they carry, so bear that in mind. As for which badges are best, I generally say the badges that best suit the moveset of the wrestler they're equipped on. For example, Leg Day is solid on Aleister Black because his strikes are primarily kicks. Anaconda is good on Kurt Angle because it makes his already great submission holds even more deadly. Take the time to go through your roster in your HQ and find which wrestler has the best badges for you. The higher the tier, the better the badge. For example, a gold heavy-handed badge will fill up your opponent's stun meter more than a bronze heavy-handed badge. Don't assume just because a card is higher overall that it will be better. Some pink diamond cards exist with 0 gold badges, while some amethyst cards have multiple. Check those card details. The next most important pre-match factor is which side plates you have equipped. Superstars can have up to 4 of these bad boys slotted in, and if you want to maximize your chances of success on the ranked ladder, you'll utilize every one of those slots. Let's take Kurt Angle for example here. He's a submission specialist, with his power and technical submission ratings both in the 80s, so I'm going to equip a side plate to further boost one of those. But which one is best? Well, anytime you have a question about which side plate best suits a wrestler's moveset, you can go to the Creation Suite in the game's main menu. Look for that wrestler and then examine his moveset from there. You of course have to have that wrestler unlocked in Play Now mode, so if you have a downloadable content character from the DLC unlocked in MyFaction but you didn't pay for the DLC, you won't be able to examine him. From here, I can see that Kurt Angle mostly utilizes technical submissions, so I'm going to equip side plates that boost that rating, as all of these submission holds except for one are technical submissions. So this is very handy, bear that in mind. You can always check out a character's moveset from the main menu if you have any questions about which side plates to use. Now as for the different tiers themselves of the side plates, they're virtually identical, the only difference being the quantity of matches for which you can use them for. For example, Ruby side plates you can use for 15 matches, Sapphire badges for 10, Emerald for 5, and so on and so forth. I would advise you going with a lower tiered side plate for a superstar that you're first using, just until you figure them out and figure out that you can win matches with them, and then you can put on a Sapphire or even a Ruby side plate, once you really have the ball rolling here. Think of these side plates as like an investment because you only have so many matches with them. So of course you want to kind of work your way up to the big ones. Once you get in higher ranked matches, then you can really whip out even those amethyst side plates and then really put the whooping on people. In the bottom right corner there, you can see what changes each side plate has on your attribute rating. Now, these attribute ratings do cap out at 99, so don't put 2 badges on the same attribute if you already are 99 in that area. Try to spread it out a little better. These attributes in the bottom right you see are already impacted by whatever manager you have equipped, so don't worry about any kind of hidden bonuses not being reflected there, because it's all shown. Now on to the gameplay. What you want to do is react to what your opponent does. Don't go flying at them. Let them make the first move. It's easier to reverse than it is to land a clean hit. To keep that in mind. I know that sounds silly, but people in ranked are just too good. They'll counter everything. So you want to be the first one to counter because that puts you at an advantage. And 9 times out of 10, whoever puts the opponent on the ground first ends up winning the match. It's crazy, but that's just how the meta works, because the meta is to spam limb attacks. And to counter those, I just press all 3 bottom face buttons. So that would be square, X, and circle on the PlayStation, or X, A, and B on the Xbox when I'm grabbed. And 9 times out of 10, you'll see I'm able to counter that. Now, if your opponent doesn't know that trick to counter these limb-targeted attacks, they are going to be easy prey for you, because they only have a 33.3% chance of successfully countering one of these. You hit circle to initiate one, or B on the Xbox, and then follow that up by pressing one of 3 different face buttons, square, X, or circle, or X, A, and B. I feel like I have to say that every time when I'm talking about different consoles, but from now on I'm just going to talk about the PlayStation controls, and I hope you guys know what I'm talking about. Just keep switching between the 3. Don't be too predictable. If you find that they're unable to counter one of them, like circle for example, don't feel bad about continuously tapping circle. Like I said, I didn't teach you to put on bangers. I'm teaching you how to win matches, and this is how you do it, unfortunately. Don't blame me, blame 2K's gameplay. You know, they're the ones that are incapable of making a fun, balanced, ranked, competitive environment, so Once you get your opponent stunned, you can either hit a signature or finisher, or just straight up tap them out if you have a high enough submission skill. And I'm going to recommend you go for these submissions. You hold right trigger and then circle to initiate them once they're stunned. If they don't have a comeback resiliency to get them out of that, it's over. They're going to tap. There's nothing they can do about it. All I had to do was get them on orange limb damage and that was over. See how easy that was? Let's show another example. Here I am against Aleister Black. He gets the better of me from this initial exchange. Aleister Black has an unpredictable moveset. He's one of my favorite superstars to play as in my faction for that reason. And he'll get me on the ground and then he'll start going to work on what we talked about before, the meta, which is spamming the limb attacks. So he gets a couple in on me. But once we can get out of this mess and get them on the ground, the match is over. We'll stun them quickly, slap on a submission hold, and get out of here with a quick dub. This match goes ridiculously fast. You see, I finally get a counter in, and then I just start going to work. And I'm being unpredictable. I'm switching between circle, X, and square for the limb attacks. He only has, like I said, a 33.3% chance of getting out of this. Shout out to Steiner Math. And he's just not able to figure it out. And because these superstars that we're playing as, like Kurt Angle's Pink Diamond, the overall is so high, limb attacks do not take long to successfully get your opponent hurt. It's just, see, we counter him again there by just spamming all of the face buttons. And now he's in a world of hurt here. That stun meter is going to start to fill up here. You see, we finally see weakness there. There's a little crack in the armor, if you will. He'll get a counter in, but we're a mean, lean countering machine as Kurt Angle and put him back down on the mat. And he's freaking out at this point, because once that stun meter fills up, you know the match is over. Look at that. Just one more limb attack, and he's toast. He's finished. Let's one more elbow to the head. Busted him up. There's a kick. There. Now we finished it up. Now all I gotta do is slap on a submission hold, like I said, hold right trigger and then circle, and look how fast that was. That was a 2-minute match. That's how fast you can rank up the ladder if you have the right side plates equipped and you're playing as the right superstar and you follow this strategy. But how about we switch it up here with a different card? 99 Galaxy Opal Mark Henry from the DLC live event recently. And you'll see my opponent is doing the same thing as me, just not being too opportunistic, being really cautious, waiting for me to set up, so I take advantage of that and follow it up with an attack of my own. And the first one to get their opponent on the ground is really in for a world of hurt in this match, because this Mark Henry has the gold Sting Like a Bee badge, so look at that, he's all ready. The green health bar in the bottom left is completely diminished. Plus he's got the heavy-handed badge, so if we follow our combos with a heavy attack, we can fill up his stun meter quickly. This Mark Henry card is just really powerful and a great card to climb the ranked ladder with. But the name of the game is the exact same as if you were playing with Kurt Angle. You want to spam the limb attacks and then maybe slap on a submission once he gets stunned, because Mark Henry starts with 80 power submission. So with the right side plates, you can easily get that to 99. And then, man, he's basically just the world's strongest Kurt Angle at that point. So it really just comes down to preference. Do you have more fun playing as a striker because of the quick combos, or do you have more fun feeling protected like with a giant? You see I got that purple armor over my green health bar down there. That makes a difference, especially if you're facing a lighter opponent, for example, and their attacks just kind of bounce off of you. You just saw it there with Bray Wyatt. He just got shoved off of Mark Henry and it opened him up to get attacked more to fill up the stun bar completely, allowing us to hit a signature on him. So definitely comes down to a preference thing, but the core strategy which each card you use, regardless of their background, is the same. Get them on the ground, spam limb attacks, slap on a submission, and get the hell out of there. You see, once again, we got out of that match with 0 limb damage, which is ideal. Now, as you climb higher in ranked, I won't lie to you, people are going to be able to counter that submission hold that you want to slap on them to end matches. And when that happens, you're going to find yourself in a struggle fest. I have some advice for that as well. Try a pin attempt frequently, because yeah, they might kick out, but they might have to use their resiliency comeback, and you never know when you're going to get a 3 count. This is an online game after all, and stuff happens with connectivity, and if you don't shoot, you can't score. So I like doing the pin attempt combos, like after a suplex, for example. We'll do one right here. Sometimes you'll get lucky, more often than not, because it's hard to kick out as the match progresses. Even with a big bar, sometimes you just screw up. Maybe your opponent has stick drift like I do. It happens. But even more deadly than the pin combination moves are the leverage pins. I'm telling you, the leverage pins are downright lethal, especially towards the end of a match. I can't tell you the amount of times I was able to put opponents away out of nowhere by tilting the right stick when they were groggy. That's all it takes. And there you have it, folks. Find a superstar with some decent badges who suits your playstyle, put some good side plates on him to further boost his attributes to get at least one of them to 99, spam those limb attacks, make sure you spam pressing all of the face buttons when you're getting limb attacked on, and you will slap on a submission hold on a stunned opponent match after match and climb that ranked ladder, I promise. It may seem overwhelming at first. It's a little daunting to climb into ranked, especially with how toxic the gameplay is. I mean, you see from this video, this does not replicate a real-life wrestling match at all. But unfortunately, it's the state of affairs, and until 2K fixes their gameplay, we're gonna need to out-exploit our opponents. If you want to have fun matches, I recommend just playing casual matches online or even within MyFaction. But if you want to climb the ranked ladder and get some MFP rewards, you're gonna have to get down and dirty with the spammers, so it kind of is what it is, unfortunately, but thankfully, you don't have to climb too far up the ranked ladder before you start reaping some benefits. For example, when you hit Emerald, you'll get a bunch of MFP, and then as you progress through rank, the rewards kind of start to diminish. You get diminishing returns, but you can get some extra tokens, you can get a collection reward superstar, and a little bit more MFP if you keep grinding, so feel free to use this strategy all the way up to Galaxy Opal, baby. If this video was helpful to you, let me know in the comments, leave a like, a sub, all that good stuff, and I will catch you guys next time. Until then, be well and take care, and keep fighting the good fight against the spammers. Peace, guys.